episode. Pavi and Nami here again to help you crush unemployment and find your dream career. You can find us on YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday, or on our podcast or blog on bizlatte.com. If all of that sounds all kinds of delightful, just go ahead and hit subscribe already, and let's just get on with the show.
Ooh, so today we're talking about casual sexism at the workplace. Of course, there are plenty of examples of blatant sexism and gender inequality. But that's another discussion for another day. There's a huge misconception that if it's not like blatant Mad Men style sexism, that it doesn't exist. The truth is, there's a lot of subtle sexism that happens every day that seems harmless by itself, but is indicative of a larger problem.
Yeah, and we're not saying that all men are evil, sexist monsters.
They aren't.
Or that women are the only ones who face sexism. But a lot of these stories are based on our own experiences or those around us, and we're just trying to create awareness. So let's just look at some instances, shall we?
Instance number 1, mansplaining. Oh my god, as female entrepreneurs, I cannot tell you the number of times we've had men come up to us, give us unsolicited business advice when they haven't even started a business or know very little about what we do. Of course, they don't feel the need to do that with our male business counterparts.
Yes.
For example, Nami and I went to this event where this guy we barely know introduced us to someone. So initially we were like, great, we'll exchange business cards. He kept telling us we should do an episode with this person, kind of trying to tell us how to run our business. He messaged us multiple times, like after, even during the event, he's like, make sure you contact this person.
You may think, okay, no big deal, maybe he was just being pushy, but he didn't feel this need to do the same thing with our business partners who are men and who were at the same event and whom he has the same level of interaction with. So that begs the question, right? Why would he feel the need to give us advice? And if you're one of those guys who's wondering, well, how do I know if I'm mansplaining? Just ask yourself, 1, is the advice you're giving unsolicited or solicited? And 2, would you do the same thing if you were talking to a guy? If no, then shut it down.
Instance number 2, not taking a woman seriously enough. We have BizLatte as our business with male business partners. We put in the same work, talk about it as much as they do, and yet people don't believe that BizLatte is our actual business. To them, it's just like, oh, that's cute, you're working from home, it's your passion project. Whereas with the guys, it's just assumed you must be the breadwinner, whatever you're doing must be legit.
This also happens a lot in social situations where women just aren't given a seat at the table. We'll sometimes be in a group with male friends or family where they'll start talking about business or current events, but only address the other men in the group, because we couldn't possibly have anything concrete to add to that conversation, right?
It's because our period gets in the way.
I know, and then bears will come.
Instance number 3, assigning admin duties to the only woman on the team. If there's a team full of men and 1 woman, guess who gets to order lunch or take meeting notes? Why? Because it's assumed that she's just gonna handle these tasks.
Instance number 4, making off-color or sexual jokes about a woman and then berating her for not having the sense of humor. So this may seem hypocritical because on one hand we're like, yeah, gender equality, and then on the other hand we're like, well, when it comes to humor, certain things are off limits. But the difference is the motivation behind the joke or comment. Because a sexual joke or a comment that's objectifying a woman has very different implications than when 2 guys are just making crass jokes at each other.
Instance number 5, denying that sexism exists. I get it, sexism is touchy, but let's reiterate, just because we're acknowledging that this exists doesn't mean that every man is a sexist. There'll always be that one guy who'll get really defensive and he'll say, I haven't seen enough evidence of this and therefore it does not exist. Good for you that you don't encounter it at all, but just because it hasn't happened to you directly doesn't mean you should shut down a conversation about it. Instead, try to have a heart-to-heart with the female members in your family or your friend circle just to understand their perspective.
Yeah, and it's easy to brush off casual sexism as, oh, it's no big deal. But the thing is, it's a gateway drug to larger sexism. So let's just nip it in the bud already. If you're a guy listening to this and wondering what you can do to help, just start by being aware and standing up to it if you do see it in your daily lives. And if you're a woman, share it with your male friends and your female friends, and also don't be afraid to stand up for it yourself. You have a whole army of us behind you.
So guys, we really hope that this conversation was useful to you. And if you have stories of your own, we'd love to hear from you. Do not forget to hit subscribe or like this video. Get in touch over social media, and we'll see you next week with a brand new 5-minute hack. Bye!